So, okay, now on the side of the Africans with the
Yeah.
AfCFTA, what
Yep.
shifts have you observed, if any? Because you've been
Mhm.
within the Africa, conversation for years,
Mhm.
right? So, what has changed and what are you seeing, if any?
Okay, so first off, upfront caveat disclaimer: the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which we're going to talk about now, is something that I think is a great idea. It's a wonderful
Mm,
idea. However, like everything else, if you have no enforcement, if you have no remedy mechanisms, if you don't protect people, then you have a problem. So the problem I have with African elites, and not all, obviously, there's a lot of great African elites out there, but generally speaking, those who come out and promote this. First off, think about this agreement. In
mm,
order for it to go into effect, of the 48 countries that signed up to do it and agreed to do it in Africa, out of 54 or 57, depending where they count Puntland, Somaliland, and Western Sahara. But anyway, so of those countries, 48 countries, only 22 had to deliver their ratification notice to the African Union.
mm,
22. That's less than 50% in order for it to take effect in all countries. Now, it came in effect in stages. But here's some of the shortcomings with it from my perspective. Number one, there is no intellectual property, copyright, and trademark provisions clearly spelled out in the agreement. They said that this would be something that would be discussed and proposed to vote on in January of 2021. But of course, with COVID coming along, that didn't happen. So if you are a Senegalese and you develop an awesome new way to make a bottle opener that no one else has come up with, and you try to trademark that, you could
mm,
trademark it maybe in Senegal, but what's to stop the guy in Sierra Leone or in Nigeria from duplicating it and selling it, not paying you royalties? Very little.
mm,
And
mm,
more to the point, even if there is a rule in place, because there's rules in place, they'll have these for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. They'll put in this copyright and trademark protections. But what happens is that when that guy in Nigeria does steal your idea, what do? Which court do you go to? Is there a
mm,
court you can have a hearing? Will a court protect you? And when Kenya uses an excuse of contaminated maize to prevent maize imports coming in from Uganda, which are flooding the market because they're more productive in Uganda, and they're flooding the Kenya market, depressing Kenya farmers. If they do that to protect their economy, what is the recourse for Ugandan farmers? Do they have a
mm,
court they can go to seek redress? These are some of the shortcomings of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. There's too
mm.
many people going, oh, look at this. Africa, it's the biggest trading bloc in the world. No, it's not. I mean, me and Walmart are almost a bigger trading bloc than Africa. Okay, I'm
Mhm,
being a little facetious there, but my point is that inter-African trade is almost non-existent. It's very little taking
mm,
place. It has tremendous potential, and that's the
mm,
good news about it. But I would wish that these African elites would stop selling this for what it's not, a
mm,
panacea for Africa's development woes. It can be, but if you don't
mm,
put in right of redress, functioning courts, and legal mechanisms where you can actually punish someone for being a transgressor, then people will transgress. They will put
mm,
informal and formal tariffs and barriers in place to protect their marketplace. South Africa will do it, Kenya will do it, Uganda will do it, and it'll devolve into that. And then the
mm,
agreement is just a piece of paper. It's like the Paris Climate Accord. There are no
mm,
penalties for violating Paris Climate Accord. None. Oh, we all
mm,
agree we're going to reduce our emissions. Guess what? The United States has actually reduced its emissions. We're the only industrialized country that continually has reduced its emissions, almost with a slight blip from 2011 until 2014. Every year for the past 20 years, we have reduced our emissions except for that brief period because new technologies, updated cars, updated factories, new things built, better homes, better insulation. We always are improving, and we've reduced our carbon output per capita and in actual terms. The rest of the world hasn't. But for the transgressors on the Paris Climate Accord, there's no penalty, and the same for the
mm,
African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So that's a couple of the shortcomings. There are others, but all in all, I think it's a great idea, and I'd love to see it take root and actually produce something. But people running around going, "Ooh, look, Africans are going to be so much better off." Not in 2021, not in 2022, maybe in 2023.